All right, Grand Rising and welcome back. It's Shalonda Bruton or Shay Seeking. And yes, I'm going to go ahead and read from the Colburn Bible today. I didn't want to use the image on the front of the book. This is something similar to it. And the fact that we are, again, on page 528. It says chapter 4, the writings of Aristolus. I don't know why it's making me think about Aristotle, whatever his name is. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and read the first part of it and then go into the part that I wanted to read, just to make sure and see who we're talking. Yeah, to see what we're talking about here. So again, it starts off. This is an account of the coming of certain wise strangers to the sea-grit realm of Britain. Okay, so again, Britain. You know, again, not to say that it has direct ties, but I don't know. I've even doing research on that energy. There's definitely some connects throughout time to the energy. Again, I don't know. Like I said, it's just whatever I feel at this point in time. All right. So that doesn't mean that this is the oldest or anything. These are just, again, as far back as that things have been documented for us to see. I know that there are things that are older, again, but just to be able to intertwine or be able to use any energy, any writings, text, or information. Also, again, mainly really dealing with the energy, or that's something that's within you, right? The only reason why I use these other things is just for correlation. It's like, I haven't been in the Colburn Bible. I told you guys we were going to go into it a couple weeks back. You know, I said I woke up feeling some kind of way today. I went ahead and did my first video, for the day. And then I ended up picking up the Colburn Bible and turning to this particular page. And usually when Source has me do that, there's something there. And so again, I was reading through and I found something correlating with what was in my freestyle video earlier. And then I just said, okay, let's do it like this. We'll freestyle and then we will just continue to do it this way, because this is mostly how I kind of do the work. Instead of doing the reading first and then coming up with the freestyle, it kind of lets you know that, again, we do hold certain things that are written on our hearts at the end of the day. And just not to lose that faith in that, because that's the closest thing to Source. Again, if you are one of those holy ones or chosen ones or elect or whatnot. Whatever it is already within you. It's just, again, we're dealing with society, and with society, they have to see visuals, they have to hear, they have to make reference. You know what I'm saying? Even sometimes to be able to correlate between the two, between their religious aspect or their writings compared to other writings. So it's just a whole general thing. Like I said, I know that people always argue that there's older things, but the thing is, everybody has pretty much probably read the Bible. Everybody has one. You see what I'm saying? So if you can use that as your basis, if you can use yourself, right, and soul searching into those things, you know what I'm saying, to that knowledge, right, and recognize, I feel that's something that's within you, then you can kind of discern and move your way through any text. It's going to show you the layer. That's what I'm trying to say. It shows you the layers. What you have to offer that's already written within you in your akashic or whatever, on your soul, right? And this is why I call it soul siblings, because again, they know how to do it. Just because I'm reading out the biblical text doesn't mean anything. If you can correlate it with something older or whatever, or something that's actually prophetic and happening now, that's just the main, for me, that's just the main point, right? Nobody's trying to be any kind of, scholar or anything. This is just what we're doing, using intuitive gifts and other, that natural something. Because if you didn't have any of this text, you would have to rely on self. Storytelling, self-preservation, writings on the wall, these particular types of things. Interpreting those writings and those images and those hieroglyphs and things like that. So again, it says here, taking from the books of Britain and rewritten. So even we're talking about rewriting something or altering something or something like that, you're not getting the actual anything. So that's why I feel like it's about seeking self or that higher self in order to connect with that all energy. In the appendix, to the bronze book. This being the part safeguarded by Rowland Gasson or Gasson. After our Lord died, having been hung on the cross outside the city walls of Jerusalem, Joseph of Abramath took Mary, the mother of Jesus, into his home until John could make suitable arrangements. Then he was called guardian of the lady, which title became confused in Britain with that guardian of the sacred vassal. So again, this whole energy of the guardian of the sacred vassal is reminding me again of a guardian that will be safeguarding a certain individual, in that time. Again, this hanging on the cross and this death, this could be a physical death. It could be a spiritual death. It could be a death, within, society, or, killing somebody off from being able to be a nation, meaning cutting them off from supplies and access to other things that other people have in order to build a nation. Information, connections that are supposed to lead them down that road. Again, I guess Dorothy could have used her intuition to get down the yellow brick road, or we could use it to get down this road of guns and roses. But at the same time, everybody needs a little bit of help sometimes. Everybody needs some tangible information, some kind of reliable resources. You see what I'm saying? It can't always be open-ended things. It can't be always, again, you get to the destination and there's no, that's just what I feel like. Whether we're talking about a spiritual destination, or something physical or tangible in the 3D. Because it's almost like somebody, saying that they're there for you or something, but actually in all actuality, they're not. They're really just being close to you, right? In order to learn you, to know your weaknesses, to be able to expand or expunge on those things. I think there's just a small amount of people that are righteous. Again, I think sometimes we get personal with that personal things and our opinions and all these other things and perceptions and things get in the way. Our wants and needs and things like this. It says Aristobulus wrote this. So again, this makes me think about like a death to society, a society trying to kill off individuals. Again, in 2020, that would look like, again, you not being able to, it would look like, oh, bad luck or karma for some of us. But some of us, again, they've been trying to lure us into a snare or a pit so they can close the door. Because again, you are that guiding light, you are that light. So they want to trap that star in that pyramid in order to be able to use it and utilize it how they want to, and instead of letting it be free to shine. And it's like God is saying, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. So again, we're going to be bursting through those barriers, because I had a dream about bursting through like some glass something, right? So it's that kind of image. It's almost like someone using back doors and things that are behind the scene in order to crucify. They're even too weak to even let it be shown to everybody. You see what I'm saying? Including the person that whatever's being done to. They try their best to keep it hidden in dark places. And so again, or in high places sometimes. And so again, it's just like, it's like that I see you, I've seen you all along energy. These wars and rumors of wars and these things. with these false perceptions of where the wars are occurring and what type of wars they are. Killing off people from society that they can't speak their piece, when we have people on mainstream platforms that are speaking pieces, that are lying and know that they're lying to the people. But the people that are trying to speak, or at least their piece, or again, give an alternative view, they want to cancel them. In culture, see, and the culture has to do with cultivating as well. They don't want good seed to be sown. They want, again, they say something out of their mouth, but at the same time, they want the same dirty, dead seeds to grow, and it's just not going to happen. It may be seemingly, but I feel like, again, will it all fall down? Because of the dirty deeds against the divine. Does it take for the divine to realize this and call the shots in order for this to occur? Aristobulus wrote these things in the sacred island, and this is his prayer in silence. Hands lifted up, heart humbled, and mind stilled. Your servant presumes to come into your presence. Great understanding one. Great me, the abounding joy of union with your spirit. Grant that all my deeds be in harmony with the great law, and that I learn to acquire wisdom, so I may illuminate the hearts of men. Okay? Wow, this is actually correlating with the energy that I sense from a soul sibling. Right now. Again, is this a coincidence? Is it, like I said, I'm just waiting for source. I'm just riding with the ancestors and waiting on that all. Again, I do know the earth is cleansing herself. It's to the point where I'm like, I've like come to the point of where society was probably looking at it as a threat. I was not looking at it, and I've given up that energy to actually start to, I don't know, stand in my power, which again calls for me possibly to go into or have a moment of silence. And I feel like, again, this is like a crossing here, crossing over into this so-called new year. You see, just getting ready to drop all these bags at the threshold is kind of like what the energy I feel like I'm in. My voice, you know what I'm saying? Everything has been like, it's almost like, all of the stuff that was placed on me, all the bricks that were tried to laid on my grave on the way to this or down this road or on this journey. I'm just, it's all starting to melt off or fall off. Because again, when it says here, the hearts of men, we're seeing again that they don't know as much as they think they do. And you cannot, again, combat the earth with brute force, because it will then realize who she is, or you see what I'm saying? It will be that I am energy, and then that is a force of nature, a force to be reckoned with. And it's only because, you see, it's because of all the stones and bricks that no one seen, or maybe they did, but they were all in cahoots and they were okay with it. Because again, they hate these group of people, these upright or these righteous people, or these people that are trying come here to heal. Okay. It's too blinding. They don't want that. They want to continue to be corrupt, to cull and contain people and control people. But I guess that's that breaking free or breaking those chains. Let me embrace your spirit in full knowledge of my twofold nature. Guide my feet towards the great law, by which all true seekers find the light. You know, I was just driving down the street the other day and I noticed something. It was like a thing, a sign that was there that said something about sun seekers. I don't know why it just really kind of sat with me all day. I kept thinking, well, this is just, why would that even be, you know? Like, I don't know. Maybe, again, I'll find out later on. Things usually just come in, you know. Excuse me. As long as my body and my spirit remain together, so long will I preach to men, seeking always to awaken a response in their heart. Bless me with sweetness of speech and harmony of voice. Help keep me from the grip of the greed and from the loud mouthing futilities and frivolities of illiterate men. Spare me the sad companionship of the sanctimonious ones. It's like an argumentative kind of energy, possibly. But it's just almost like, again, it's like this rage or this something that came from all of the, it's like, you know, like the Hulk, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that energy, but it's like, let's not pretend that men are the ones that brought it out of the earth with their ways. And it's almost like, spare me with that. But again, the wrath of God is real. Israel is real. It says, God of my heart, son of my life, keeper of my circle of content. I don't know why this makes me think about Saturn's circles. I don't know. Fill this place with the divine emanations from your being. Attune, which is making me think about attune. I don't know. With the circle of truth and the circle of light. Make me receptive to the lessons of inspiration of life. Joseph, our father in faith, came across the storm-tossed sea to the place called Belgerith. I don't know why that's making me think about Belgium. I don't know. And from this, Taishan, where he met the envoy of the king who was sorely troubled. For the chief of all Druthin, called Trowitis, was away at the meeting place of his God, where he became in the wondrous way every 19 years. There the ceremony lasted 3 moons. Okay. Okay, I skipped a little bit and we're just going to go on. It said, Joseph said, excuse, I don't know why I'm so tired, y'all. When I was shipbound, I had a vision of God. The eyes of my spirit were open, and I saw him in all his glory. Then understood that there was no difference between the nature of his spirit and the spirit of men. Okay, that's kind of deep. Hold on. I don't know why I just heard leave your ass for a white girl. Okay. Ooh. And see, you know what? And even saying that, it just made me think about the way, just like just some energy about someone saying something about, oh, you so-called black women, right? And then it's just like also, like we were just saying about the heart dis-ease, about again within this community of this twin flame thing has been kind of like a whole two of pentacles, like a whole juggling act or whatever, while again foreign women are being brought in and put on a pedestal, or supposedly getting or demanding privileges from our government, which be our so-called husbandry or father energy, where we you know what I'm saying? Again, this is just again allegedly. If you look at the way that this story has gone over time, it's always the American so-called black women that they come to for healing, for knowledge, for understanding, for that godhood. But at the end of the day, it's always again another type of woman that ends up again. It's just the truth. It's just what I'm saying here would be the same as you reading some hieroglyphs or something. But we're just in 2021 and I'm trying to speak it in a certain way. So it's not even to shun anyone, make anyone feel bad or anyone feel good. It just is what it is. It's always been a piece of the pie, the sweet potato pie right here in America. That is that essence. It's always these individuals that they look to bring the world back out of some kind of something, but then they end up just using it and sucking it dry and then just having their hand up her skirt and then just, defiling it and ravaging and pillaging and raping it and then leaving it abandoned and bruised and see, I feel like there's a renewed spirit here where it's like, okay, you wanted that. Well, this is still going to be what is going to be at the top. And those who want to be there that don't belong will perish. Because again, this time has been done in love. This time has been honoring the ancestors. This time, regardless of what you think about that blood, about the bloodline, this time is being done properly. There's a true healing essence to it. There's a sense of knowing who I am and who we are. This time. There's a thing about acknowledging this story repeating itself and then also putting a halt to some of these things and changing them for the better. And then there's some that are going to continue to do it the same way. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't that's not the only basis. It doesn't just rest on the outer appearance. It's the essence. It's the soul of America that so-called Biden was so-called fighting for. But maybe when they found out it was pure or trying to be or leading on the road to changing the world in that direction, they decided to build it back better. And sometimes that means with foreign energy that don't have no regard for the old or the new here in America, for the so-called black, white, or Latino here in America. Sometimes that's just what it means. And again, the whole same Americans or the same people that they're using against you during this spiritual and psychological and tech war on the minds and the hearts, the bodies and the souls of the people, of the originals of the people. And so many people were okay with going in on it, whether they knew what they were doing or not. That's why I just treat people the way I want to be treated. And that's why it hurts me so when to find out that closest people, or to find out that, again, we are dealing with some demonic energies, some energies that have been cut off from being regular beings. They are filled with the spirit of something else. And some of us have been given the gift to see that. You can see an alternative or an altered energy in these particular people. Whether it's people that you're sharing information or watching online, people in your real life, in your household, in your again, being able to so this is why, again, there's this whole thing on this thing. They're trying to push this narrative about mental health now when it comes to the vaccine, or now when it comes to this. The whole thing is they just want you to start gearing towards and looking towards that, so that they can try to cleanse the earth of those who have come to help and heal and help individuals understand on a different level. That's a danger to them. So they point missiles at these energies and demand for them to be taken out. And they don't care who. They're not going to regard who, nobody, black or white, old or new, whoever. They're not going to regard anyone. Everything is going to be obliterated. So people that thought that they were helping something by harming those elect because of some small gain, some gain in business or some kind of something. And then everybody has to come around and give up something because of that gain. And most of the time, again, depending on what energy we're dealing with, or how major your come up was, I feel like, again, the higher you think you made it up, right, to that glass ceiling that you won't be able to break, the harder you'll fall. Because those elect and those select are going to make it to that promise. They're going to make it to that promised land or that mindset, regardless of what's been done. And those who have gained these things, right, in what you can say so-called faith or in a righteous way, I don't think they would have anything to worry about. At the end of the day, I might not have this, I might not have that, but my hands are clean at this point in time. When Source came into my life and started to move it around or alter things, even when it seems like, again, there were other governing forces, right, that had their hand in it to try to tempt or lure or things like this, I always had to go back to myself, do whatever work, cleansing or whatever I had to do, and then go to Source. So it says, often I have thought on this. All men are alike in nature and all inspire to the same goal. All seek the same journey end, and only the route differs. Yeah. Therefore, let us not argue whether men should follow your road or mine. Right? So again, I think this is like material and physical or spiritual. But find between us a path better than either. Again, that's that equal something. Reciprocity or that equal give and take. You know, even again. One priest said, what of the world's... hold on, let me sit up. Because I don't even have my glasses on. Now it's been hard to... Okay, so it says, one priest said, what of the worlds within the ever moving circles? And see, that's what I'm saying. It's almost like the elect ones, or the ones that, again, that were supposed to be in certain positions, were being love bombed and just entertained. Not in the same fashion. Like, even if you turned off the TV and turned off all these other things, there was still some form of entertainment, whether it was telepathic or even through tech, 5th-generation stuff. So it's just like, you know, you're thinking that those are the only things, but there's other elements to this. But some of us had to go back to as we were as a child with that same type of energy in order to regain that. When there was no borders in your mind, there was no limits in your mind. You still had an imagination. Your dreams wasn't killed by education, you know, again, in religion and things like this. It was just the true essence and authentic nature, that truthfulness that children can sometimes hurt your feelings with. See, not sugarcoating it. A lot of things, because again, the truth kind of hurts sometimes. Joseph replied, the hidden worlds are numbered as the sands on the seashore. Okay? If a man concerns himself with many things, he benefits none and derives no benefit himself. Let us concern ourselves with this world first. So again, I mean, that's that. Okay? I could see that. You see what I'm saying? Like, again, you know, even like worldly or dimensional things. But I feel like, again, it depends on what we're talking about with this world here. When it says this world, right? Again, because I don't know why I'm thinking love or hearing love right now, right? Like love is the icon kind of energy. But then also, you know, it's saying within this world first. So again, maybe it's even talking about like an intertwining on this dimension. Not to say that it's right or wrong, I'm just saying. But some of us, you know what I'm saying, didn't have a choice and we were already in some, I don't know, some kind of zone, I feel. Possibly with a protective barrier. Like the veil or something like that. Because almost like on stolen land, I keep hearing on stolen land. The Druiden said, who can change the natures of man? For these are fixed by the gods, but these are gods with a little g, like government and governing systems is what I feel. Fixed rate. I'm even thinking, I don't know why I'm thinking banking for some reason, but like a fixed rate. Joseph answered, all things can be changed, but not always for the better. Change and life are inseparable. Joseph went on to say, because you are folk who work the land, bringing it to fruitfulness, you are not to be despised. All right. So again, the land, bringing it to fruitfulness. Now, again, this could be also be talking about some kind of abundance, right? But fruitfulness does have something to do with ravaging energy in a certain kind of way. Like there was a time limit for like I'm saying, like a purging kind of energy. And again, rather for the good or the bad, for this or for that, whether you know it or not, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like that energy here. Because it's like, it's okay for, like, I even admit, right, that I was thinking Source has a way where he's going to make sure that those elect get what they deserve, right? But at the same time, it's like despising something when you see it from one level, but when it benefits you, then it's another way. But when the way that I look at it is, I don't want anything to benefit me. I'm fighting for it to benefit the all. Those who have been wronged, for it to be brought back to a level playing field, to be made right. Or even me willing to say, oh, well, hey, it was like this, but then, you know, it's okay if God, but then maybe that's what it's saying about one of these God energies is the same as man. To rape and pillage and abuse the American woman in general. We can just go ahead and say in general this time, because we know that there was different collective or separate, but again, subgroups and races, but collective energy here in the Americas prior to colonization. So again, everybody's going to have their own ways and views, but I feel like Source was giving us a chance to heal it and do it in a better way. But I feel like, again, it was corrupt, because again, that would actually mean that something would change for the good. So I feel like that's why there's so much of a foreign influence, nations fighting or trying to divide up the spoils. Again, and even if not, to ruin things before they even give it back to you, because they know that the time has been up. It's just like, did we know? And then when we did know, did we unite, or did we go ahead and just rape and pillage and not not and not include, did we continue to cut off cornerstones because of fear or because of whatever, jealousy or something, or greed, cutting off family members, sacrificing the black sheeps of the family who are the ones that brought you out of the fucking slavery. You see what I'm saying? In some form, who helped in that true essence or that sense of bringing us out of that mindset or that arena or whatever it will be. All right. So again, because you are folk who work with the land, bringing it fruitfulness, you are not to be despised. So again, in a matter of this is making me think about, again, it's almost like, people might be envious of, think that people just get to sit there and they don't have to do this and that in order to get what they, but some people have earned that right. Some people are the ones that had to actually carry that cross and have that crown of thorns on. They are the ones that had to be naked in front of the world. They are the ones that had to be embarrassed or brought to, you see what I'm saying, to some form of shame, or they had to, they did their sacrifice while other people were enjoying doing what they wanted to do with not that many, ailments or interruptions or anything, right? And it seemed like some kind of gain. So then now you can look at the ones that don't have and think that they shouldn't have, and that they don't have because they don't have what you think would be something that's abundance, which would be financial or material things. So if they're not giving, or if they're not doing this and if they're not doing that, it's kind of like a monk energy, like someone being a monk or something, and they sit in silence many hours throughout the day, and they do these things and yoga and all this stuff like this. And it's kind of like, again, maybe I'm thinking about that card, the monks or the nuns or noons, because nuns seem like busy energy to me, and monk energy is more like a very chill kind of energy. And it's just called a monk, but I can see that energy in different cultures around the world, doing things kind of with ease, possibly in silence. There's affirmations, speaking it into existence, but then there's also, again, people that can go into utter silence and also move things. Some people use law and legalities in order to claim, and then somebody else comes along and just uses their brute force to claim. It just is what it is. Titles or sense of entitlements to claim, to take other people's cloaks or coats and put them on. I feel like in that aspect, I don't know. That's sources inner workings. I don't know exactly what that is talking about, but I can see kind of like the outer levels of what we're talking about here. But again, I don't know the inner loopings of it, because again, I'm more of that energy that is that deals with this kind of thing, to untangle these words that have had us in certain mindsets for so long that, again, we may have been misunderstanding. Kind of like to shed light on a situation in order to give you the power to be able to then do better things with those things, to open up more doors and minds, expand. It's just, I don't know. I feel like that kind of energy of that. So it says, let the newcomers with their armed might say, oh, yeah, this is kind of like what this is saying then. Say as they will, you are workers with God. We're not the sons of God. No, it says, we're not the sons of God, also called the sons of plow. So again, that's the same thing. But that, like I said, it's a new thing this time. You see what I'm saying? And again, now if there's a higher source of power or something, but I feel like, again, they're doing a new thing, because I feel like this time it was to separate and compartmentalize and sell it off immediately. You see what I'm saying? Just to make sure, again, that the true children wouldn't have. I feel like, again, it just maybe but I feel like, again, also I do have faith that there is, again, some of this plowing is going to lead to something in 2020 for some of you. It's not all bad. It's not all, there's like an equal something going on here. What man thought he was going to stop, God is still going to do. So if you call that, some kind of unjust activity, then I know it just is what it is. It just depends on what you think about God, how you think that the energy, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. It just depends on how you see it, right? But I feel like it's some form of justice that's going to occur. Did they not fight against the sons of men who were hunters, eating raw flesh, like the beast of the worshipping serpents, which crawl on their bellies? Wow. I know this is giving me like Islam, Christian, Moorish energy here. Like people doing things like in a dark or in a low vibration or a low kind of nature of, I don't know. Always there have been some who worship things of the insensitive wood and stone. Groveling in the dust at their feet. And those who worship the highest, they can see the sun, the stars. Others reach out even beyond these. Okay, so I don't know why I just heard Pleiadians or something to that, you know what I'm saying? Something maybe even more than that. But I'm just saying, just to take us out of, to escalate it into that higher level of something. Okay? So again, foreign or alien, from a far beyond place. One of the Druthan asks, what know you of the eye of the God in men? The eye and the God of men. Joseph replied, what is written in the heart is the eye of God in men. This sees everything, knowing right from wrong. It put things into instant perspective. Men in whom this eye is closed are little better than the beast of the field and the forest. So it's kind of like this battle of the awakening. Oh, if you're not in contact with source, then you wouldn't be abundant in material or financial gain right now. And it's just like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I see it a different way. So again, that just lets me know, and it confirms that we are dealing with different beings here that do things in different ways when these resets happen throughout the test of time. I come as one who opens the eyes of such as these. In the beginning, the king had listened in silence and was tolerant because he felt he could indulge these strangers. Now, as he saw that their teachings might prevail, he became angry, or she, okay, and unreasonable, okay? And now it's like, oh my goodness, is there a problem? Is there mental health? Should you go to a doctor? Is there a problem? Are you fit to be a mother? You see, and that's where the danger comes in. Like I said, we're between some kind of exodus or exile and some kind of something, some glory or something. I don't know. It's just like we're in a strange place, I feel here. It's like standing your ground and acknowledging something and then manifesting it, or not manipulating, but needing it and putting additives or taking certain things out possibly in order to form something. Like the feminine energy being able to stop what she sees this, when it comes to the war of the womb, I feel, to stop these energies in their track by being on some type of vibe and standing together. First seeing what the issues may be, waking up from that slumber that people have been in on this rat race. Yeah. Indulging these strangers. So again, at first, indulging these, it's almost like Solomon losing the wisdom, or it's almost like even, or Marquita, with her witchcraft and her sorcery over Solomon. And it's just like, even with me, sometimes at first it was like indulging, some of these people that were speaking these things, but knowing there's something up with these people. Either they're recording, they're spying, they're tapping your phones, they're recording devices in your homes, something. But then thinking also some of these people can be artificial energies. Some of these people have been turned into artificial transmitters of other information on one accord. So just like Source is going to put those that are wholly on one accord, these beings or these people or these societies have taken and put in some people on one accord. It just so happens to be also a certain form of media or media. My fault. Like the Roman energy, okay? Like the Colosseum, right? Okay? Having people in somebody's head or in their, so again, like the Queen of Cups energy, excuse me, using these devices in order to spot out who those rare jewels are, or Jews to a certain extent, right? And then how to cut them out of their comfort zone, to cut them out of their purpose, to again cut them out and consume or take in that energy or that essence of these jewels. And then Source said, oh, it was all up until you came to this one, the most precious one, the tree that he told to leave the fuck alone. You see what I'm saying? This is how I'm looking at it. So some branches might have to fall off that tree. There's some strange fruit. My daughter, oh my goodness, wish she was talking last night too. Some strange fruit is going to have to come off the tree. And it just so happens that there's something in the middle there. Okay, millennial, I don't know, something in the middle there. Where the youngest ones, they have no regard, they have no respect, so we were just talking about that. There's a lawlessness about them. And I think those are the ones that brought this in my family tree, in my family line. Corrupting, coming in on my family. Feminine energies coming in. Trying to defile my relationship. Being used by some of these people in political arenas and other high places in order to infiltrate the family. Dynamic here. And then some maybe of the old that didn't have much, and now they see a way to gain something. And so they want to sacrifice that middle child. It's like that middle child energy, the disregarded one, the one that was set aside. There was a favorite here and a favorite there. And so Source is saying, but I've been with you the whole motherfucking time. And now in your own family, some of you might even be feeling the dynamics of in your own immediate family that you are the one that everybody is ousting out because they possibly have their hands on whatever this gain is that they think they're going to get. That gate is narrow. As it happens in instances such as these, he said, who gives you authority to speak in this manner? And this is what somebody probably was thinking by that freestyle that I did earlier. Who sent you? And do you come to spy on us? Because again, as above, so below, what you've done to others is going to happen to you. And again, I feel like that happens to that eye or that spy in the eye or that probing energy of the world card. That can use that probe to probe these people. And this is why. So it's not karma. It's not what you did. No, it's who the fuck you are. And this is what I've been trying to tell people the whole time. It's not about your skin color. None of that shit. Just forget about it. It's about who you are. The true essence, the true soul of America. The old world. That first so-called world. That had many different places here. When we're talking India, Superior, Asia Minor, ancient Egypt, many different cultures. But it's from all the raping and pillaging that those goods were taken and taken into different countries. And now it's to the mining energy or the miners. Biden said he was one of the first miners. Take that into accountability and use that in another way. It's almost like the Apollyon in the Christian energy, that story, which also makes me think about Biden and Trump, and then also my ancestors being stuck somewhere in the middle. So the old and the young, and then that's what's in the middle that has been held by the hand. When it, yes, so you can sticks and bones of, break my bones with words in there. So you can cast all those stones and everything, but you'll never bring me down. You can take away wealth, you can take away health, you can take away family members, but you won't take away that spirit. That's something that's within me, because you did not fucking give it to me. You cannot have it. It will still be there. And the reason why people want to stop you is because they know once they let you go, it's a wrap. And they think that this world is going to be able to generate and keep on working when it comes to financial things and stuff like this. And that's just going to be it. Sex, drugs, finances, all these things. And it's just not going to be, it's going to be a new fucking thing. Excuse my language, but I'm keeping it real, like as if y'all just sitting here talking with me. And since YouTube says that there's only 4 people that's going to watch this video, then I guess it really don't matter. Joseph said, no, and this is why the constraints and stuff are put on some of our platforms. When you know that there's no reason for you to be at those numbers, it's because they're putting a hold on you, sharing your information, dispersing it, raping and pillaging. Possibly even making some type of financial gain off of it in you. A one-ring circus is what my daughter said to me out of nowhere the other day. And everybody else has room in the background to have great debates and to pile on the anger, pile on the hate, the jealousy, and all this other stuff. But they're so proud and so arrogant about it because they think no one can see what they're doing. These readers, some of these other individuals, the mass media, nation leaders. Know this, great King. I am a servant of the great God of light. I am sent in order to build a church here where it will serve your people well. I will establish a place of light unto them. I come to teach the perfect commandments. So I feel like this is his 2 wand energy here. And those wands have 2 ends to them. Those wands have 2 ends to them. Maybe the light and dark, the godhood and then the devil energy, so-called. But whichever one has the most views, so they will put a tightening on the views of the true people. It's cheating. It's just cheating. It's cheating. It's cheating. It's cheating. But you can't remove that energy. You can't remove that energy. It's still there. You can try to remove the views, but you cannot remove the energy. It's how God is going to make nations look foolish. And I'm just saying, it is, I don't know. Again, I'm hearing repentance, but that's whatever you want to look at it as. I don't know why I've been telling people around me, man, if that's what you got going on, oh, well, this, and that. No. Source got me in this, it might have been stagnant at one point, but in a stance right now as to what it is. Or what time it is. I come to teach the perfect commandments. Ask among your own about me, for I am not unknown to them. I have no human teacher, for whom I learned the wisdom. For whence I got these things. I lived in the light of Christ, but learned tardily. Tardy to the party. Wow. Then I had a message from God himself. Go preach to those who dwell at the edge of the earth. Look at this, following something all the way to the end of the earth. Satan, where have you been going in and up and down in the earth? This is the cross. This, I don't know. I'm just seeing some kind of, or like that ball right? It's like a orbit shape kind of something that we see even in the tarot. Some of the, I think the emperor is holding it. I see these in towns and stuff like that. It's like this double. I don't know exactly what the name of it is. Not the macabre. I don't know. Even like that whole thing that has like the Oh my goodness, what is it called? Or even I'm thinking like even the dwell at the edge of the earth. Like again, it's like I said, it's from like on a ledge or out like on an edge or somebody stepping off of a cliff or something. I know it's just a we could be talking about borders, we could be talking about possible um yeah, borders or something. Or again, what were we saying the other day? Those that are at the ends of mm, the coastline. The king said, "How come it that these things have been revealed to you, while the same God who reigns here has not revealed them to us, even though we were the lords of this land or landlords, right? Because they foul. That's why. I'll just answer that for you. It's been some foul behavior. They've been having some gain off of it too, off of your downfall, off of your mental prison, your spiritual attacks. The gatekeepers of that energy. Are you a man of significance this side of the wide waters? Joseph answered, those who are established in God, in the God of light. So this is separating a different God, a God of light. So maybe that's that balance thing or that baton, right? Even you think about like back in the day, those groups and stuff like that that used to do like the baton dancing and twirling and stuff, the majorettes or whatever. I can't remember what they're called. With the batons. The God of light need no mentors, and they take pride in their insignificance. And this is making me think about again. I ran into a certain reader. I can't remember her name, but like it was clear to me that this individual is, man. I mean, if I can find out what her channel was, I'll try to link it below. But I'm like, now this is what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? It was just like these. Oh, and maybe that's that feeling. Like it's about this mundane stuff, about money, cars, clothes, and hoes, and all this other stuff. And it's about, and there's another reader. Again, I think I'm gonna find both of them, and please, y'all, I'm hopefully gonna be able to link it down below. All right. But yes. I mean, the way she did that reading, it wasn't even about, well, I guess it was about what she said, but the way, I just knew that was a lot of knowledge and it wasn't coming from no actual book, you know what I'm saying? Like how we're even doing right now. It was just on a more advanced scale. And the last thing she said in that video was like, they didn't know your bloodline. But it was things in that message that sharpened me and that jabbed me and made me relook at something and say, you don't know, right? And it also, I'm saying, some things that like then sharpened the blade. And then there was all, it kind of opened up something, right? So it says the first shall be the last and the last first. So again, I keep faith in that energy. And knowing that those of us that were treated this way, there's still something. It's not faith, it's not belief, it's a knowing. But we have to be, you know what I'm saying? I feel like is if we come into tune with who we are and stand very strong and firm in that energy. The lowly shall be raised up and the haughty cast down. So again, these people were doing everything that they could to devour, to crawl on top of, to move, you know what I'm saying? So again, everybody has their own authentic, unique path. And if you stay on that and it's a righteous path, I feel like, again, there's nothing but going to be, it might be looking down right now, but things are going to look up. And I feel like, again, it's a sense of haughtiness though, too, because we have to think about it again when it comes to, again, your mindset as well, right? And then also those who think that, again, I'm making all this gain or whatever, making it rain, but really, you know what I'm saying, it's off of somebody else's pain. You see what I'm saying? And those who know that you've done that, know that you've done that. So like, there's no hiding that. You see, it might have felt good on the way up, but it's going to be it's going to be very uncomfortable on the way down. And I feel like it's going to be like a abrupt, like that sword, that cutting of it is going to be very abrupt. And it's going to feel like, nothing happened. I'm still on top. And then it's going to be a slow, because I woke up this morning thinking slow burn. So it's going to be something that's a slow kind of descent. Kind of like laugh now, cry later. Which is maybe why, again, I don't try to go to, people might be outside looking in, but Source knows my heart. And I'm staying suspended, right? And then on that essence of, should I have taken myself out of a certain energy or out of one class and put myself in another class, or trust in waiting for Source? I'm hearing like rise and fall or something like that. Or somebody that misled people to go and do certain things, and now they're coming back saying they didn't, but they did, absolutely, right? And then again, but they know you're the one that really was doing that. But again, they're trying to consume or take your cloak or your name or your identity or your works or your whatever and use it. So it's that whole Tower of Babylon energy, sending someone in to find the language or find the writings and text and everything of someone else, and then planting it into another device in order to make America better again. But really, you don't understand that that's a foreign energy, and they honor not that God, but their father gods with a little g. I feel like what it was just saying here. So this is why God was so upset, or this goddess was so upset. It wasn't jealousy. See, people make it seem like that. No. It's critical here. It's tactical. It's what it is. And it's just never been about jealousy, envy of no other motherfucker. Like, I don't even think like that's not even on my radar. You dig what I'm saying? Because that's how much I love myself. That's how much I see myself. And it took for this, whatever happened, this tumultuous time and this connection with Source and other energies in order to really, really, really go through that something. And at the end of it, I was looking for love. I thought that it was something that was there. And even when people go through some kind of journey and at the end they're looking for, or their handout is for something. Yes, I want it all. I want the whole package. But at the same time, I wouldn't give anything else up for that. To be going through all of the hate and the, trust issues and things like that. I just want to be in a situation where I'm with that energy. Because I'm abundance itself. And I feel like that person would be too, if that is the mirroring energy. And so there's nothing that can, like, ain't no mountain high enough, like, at the end of the day. So it's kind of like forgiving for everything, and kind of like, I gave it all up. You ain't got no choice but to ride for some, like, it's just it's like, who stayed? That's why it's like that whole humble yourself, or be humble to a certain extent. We not seek after gold or worldly possess. Look at this shit right here, y'all. Of myself, I have no power, but I have power from God. Oh my God. See, because that's when it happened. It's like making love in this kind of way. I just never knew about any of it. And now I think people hate on that because they even though they tried to strike somebody down and put them together down there and lock them up, source is going to, oh my goodness. So there is a time for forgiveness or something. It's like, ooh, and then how can you forgive, such treacherous things? But it's just like, there's no wall there. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just like surrendering. It's just like, it's whatever then. Life or death. Life after death. I don't know. It's like, you see what I'm saying? It is God who commands, and it is he or she who makes a true man of God. And this is almost like a divine feminine, or that feminine aspect. The earth cleansing itself and bringing men to their knees. And not in a way where it's like no cocky, not in a way. But I'm just saying to show you that all women, it's like one of them songs I've been listening to, I think by Levert, that's like, you show me what a true woman is instead of a little girl. Who makes a true man of God. It's like source put that choices energy there. To bring on this, where people thought they were going to get over on that precious stone or whatever that might not have been, it might have been even dirty at first, but he all whole time he working clean inside out, cleansing it, sparkling it up, but they're distracted by temptation and other things all around, even the closest ones. Even you just damn. And it was all love, true love from the beginning, not even questionable. No matter whatever else, it was just that. There was much talking and long discourse on the nature of God. And the Druthin challenged Joseph to produce him, saying, though you decry our images, yet we do have likenesses of our gods, with a little g, or governors. I feel like this is what we're talking about. While you lack even these, your words are mere puffs of wind. So it's like, if it's not in writing, or if it's like, like if it says decry here, not decree, but decry, which makes me think about a decree, like I decree. You see what I'm saying? Or like claiming, you know what I'm saying? Like a sense of that, like, but also maybe possibly, right? In some kind of way, our images, yet we do have likenesses of our gods, while you lack even these. Your words are mere puffs of wind. So again, challenge Joseph. And I know Joseph had many coats, or colors on his coat or his cloak. But again, that's what we're talking about, the nature of God. And nature didn't have no, you see what I'm saying? No structure. I would say, if anything, it was closest to the 10 Commandments. Just a regular, orderly way of me behaving and treating other people. where laws are lies. That's what it means in etymology. And they have been laid down, right, since their foundation on top of a prior nation, right, in order to continue to let these people move the way they have been moving. That's why they're so scared of okay, you can even say, okay, you got the 10 Commandments, and then they got the Constitution. But what is all this other stuff? What are these other bills and acts and codes, but ways for them to, you know what I'm saying, make some type of financial gain or money off of the people? That they end up using that money in order to come up with some kind of bill or something that is going to seemingly be something that is going to help the people, but it's actually going to be harming them in the end. But these words, but I'm just thinking about this energy too, though. These words are written on the heart, though. And most people are not heartless, soulless beings. It's almost like a spell has been cast or something has been blown in the wind. And these people think that since they have changed or altered the DNA with this antidote, possibly, that they can control the narrative. Because again, like in Sleeping Beauty, that green smoke that went throughout the land and put everybody to sleep. But something can trigger or something can do something with the heart. Even somebody that's been gone through so much heartbreak and the spiritual essence of it in real life, and can still want to love people that have the sword at their fucking throat. You get what I'm saying? That's that Empress energy. And if all of her counterparts were a part of this, and they don't ask her for forgiveness and come back to her in a certain light, then they will have to remain there. I feel like it's about a time to right some wrongs. That's what the government could do. That's what everybody could do. It's returning the heart of Tafiti. She wasn't even worried about the jewels and everything else that came off the island. She was just worried about that. Hell, and Maui just wanted his hook back. Okay. Okay. These things and more were said, and the Druthin believed, but tardily. Then at the midsummer festival of the chief of all the Druthin collapsed on the processional walk, denying himself the reviving draught prepared by Islis. I don't know why that's making me think about Isis. His daughter. The draught and daughter and dowry. I don't know. It's making me think about those three things there. It says the draught prepared by Isis, his daughter. Right? So this is also making me think about maybe possibly Moana energy here. And then also the hook possibly being, again, that harmony, that somebody wants to get back so that they can do music together or write something together. It's like that was a muse of someone's. He died in the arms of Joseph, our father. It was he who received the moon chalice. So again, this makes me think about the moon energy. So this is making me think about Georgia and New York. And the light of Britain, the star. I don't know. I feel like it's my energy. The moon is New York and the Islis energy. Because again, when they were talking about Afghan energy and ISIS K or whatever and trying to make it like it's all one thing, it really wasn't though. Because there's different counterparts and essence of Moana as well. Maybe even some Esther essence there. A split bloodline. The Druthan held the secrets of the great temple of the stars, and theirs was the royal isle in the kingdom of Kevin Id. I don't know. I just want to say, Kevin! Like on Home Alone. Which is, this island energy is giving me Home Alone energy. Maybe even something to do with Christmas. Or Klaus. All right, y'all.